How are we today on this beautiful day? We have gorgeous rains coming down. I find it amusing when people say, oh, it's bad weather, it's raining. It's not bad weather, it's beautiful weather, it's growing things. I love the feeling of the energy in rain and thunder and lightning too. I love the way that just builds and intensifies sensation, at least for me. It does. I was listening to someone speak. It could have been Peter Cron again. I think it was, who was talking about maintaining the ability to care, which is really your ability to love, you know? And he was speaking of it as, this is your superpower. This is our superpower. It's not any one person's superpower. It's our superpower. It's funny talking about the concept of that we are all one with everyone and everything, the concept that some people will refer to as non-duality. People want to hear more about it because it resonates within us as truth. And yet, the more you speak on it, the more you actually reduce it in the understanding of it. There's less to say until there's nothing to say. In understanding oneness, unity, there's less to say until there's nothing to say. Sometimes I think of it as existing in the perspective of duality, of separation. Its gift is that it allows us to reflect on these limiting beliefs. And as we reflect on the limitation of the concept of otherness, separation, distance, we end up coming to our own awakening, that it's an illusion, and we become a light that shares this understanding with others. It's sort of, I think of it as my seemingly sudden, instantaneous introduction into reconnective healing, is that it was a non-dual perspective experience for me. I'm sorry, it was a dual perspective of something that was non-dual. Let me see, how do I talk about this? It showed itself up as oneness, and then in my search to understand it, and people looking to help me understand it and teach it, I discovered that all the teachings came from duality, ritual, technique, additions, pyramid hats, wands, things to do, protections, objects. And I had to go into it from that route until I realized the non-duality of it. That none of these things enhance the healing. If anything, they brought in fear and questions of worthiness and insufficiency concepts until they were released back into the recognition of non-duality, of oneness. And when this happened, I guess I had to go through that journey to be able to understand it, because that allows us to share this in story form, question and answer concepts. Non-duality is a funny kind of a word because it pulls so many people's knee-jerk responses to it. Is that something strange? And really all we're questioning is our sudden ability to see this so strange? Or is it really us? So what is it about the seemingly random, or we talked about this last week, the seemingly random or innocuous recognition of seeing through a lens of non-duality? What is it about that allows for healings to come about? And what is it is our recognition, our being, our presence that allows us to allow for techniques to just self-dissolve and healing to be? What we understand about reconnecting all of healing, which is allowing for our techniques and our rituals and our steps and procedures to dissolve, which is something they do naturally. You can't, because they're doing, and you can't maintain doing. Doing doesn't last forever because it requires an effort. I mean, think about it. Whatever we are doing requires an effort. Typing on the keyboard requires an effort. Playing the guitar, you can't play it 24 hours a day. It requires an effort. Techniques in our healing require effort. The only way that healing is able to be without effort is when we allow healing to be. Think of it as it's a wordless key to healing. It's a keyless path. There isn't, in our techniques, we access different bandwidths of healing, like different bandwidths of electricity, different bandwidths of energy. But really, there's not different bandwidths of healing when we allow our techniques out, what creates otherness in healing, to naturally dissolve. Then we find that there is infinite bandwidth, not even a bandwidth or the bandwidth, because there are not other bandwidths. There just is bandwidth. Reconnective healing isn't a frequency, and there aren't, as we often use in language, we speak about the reconnective healing frequencies, but there aren't frequencies of it, because that implies that there are other frequencies, and really, there is simply frequency. There is simply healing. Now, I know that this is something to sort of play with, so let's play with it with this concept. We see internally, we see this as light. As Solomon says, we see this as light, but it is of a different site. Light is the output or the form of this vibration, Jillian describes. So the wordless key, the keyless path to understanding healing, to recognizing non-duality. We see this healing as light, but it's of a different site. No, our brains are going, wait, what's he saying? This isn't making sense. Good. Now, let's just breathe and be in silence for this for a moment. And I'm going to share a few of these phrases again, just in being and breathing. If you're comfortable and in an appropriate place for this, you can allow your eyes to close if you want. Just be and breathe normally for a moment. Ready? Take a minute or two. Unplug your mind. Unplug the brain. Healing is frequency, resonance. It is not a frequency. It is not frequencies. It is not the frequencies. Healing is frequency, resonance, and light. It is accessed or shared. It is a wordless key and a keyless path. You know, a symphony cannot play unless the conductor is present. But who is the conductor? A hint is that it is not the I who would like to take credit for it. That would be the little I, the ego, the personality. The symphony cannot play unless the conductor is present. So in the silence of the presence that you are, ask yourself, who is that conductor? You can't say that there's a body and there's a mind and there's a relationship between the body and the mind, because really the body and mind are aspects of the same thing. So who is the conductor? The conductor is the I am. Who wants to be the conductor? We feel better we're the conductor. We're in fear of what if we're not controlling this, but who is in fear? The only thing that generates fear, as Peter Crone and others would share with you, the only thing that generates fear is your own imagination. What if this happens? What if that? What if I do? What if I don't? And the ego, as the identity, wants to grip on more tightly. This is really what inhibits healing. The receivership of healing, whether we feel that we are in the role of the healing facilitator or the healing client. We are in sharing right now. We're friends in community, in discussion, in concepts. The answers we are looking for, we already have. The greatest gift you can receive may well be the recognition that there is no gift that you need from another person. If I can share with you that there is no gift that you need from me or anyone else. That's so wonderful. The reason, maybe the key reason that we are together right now is for you to see that you don't need something from anyone because you have it. This recognition, this understanding is your healing and the healing of those with whom you interact. Healing is instantaneous. There's no time, there's no space. Healing is instantaneous. When it is true healing, it is instantaneous. It is a pathless path, a keyless key, a direct path to healing. Instantaneous, nothing to do, simply be. Now, we say, well, what happens when healing seems to take place over time? Well, that may be when it's just frequency matching with a person looking to be receiving a healing, or with the person who feels that they are controlling and facilitating a healing, interpreting it, directing it, receiving messages for other people and about where the healing should go and what it should do, and then directing it that way. That's an identity that they have sort of collapsed with. And they move into slow moving time, space, process, progress. But when we allow for the dissolving, the dissolution of all divisions and separations in healing, of all the different techniques and the groupings and the this and that, we recognize that healing is no longer, well, it simply is not. True healing is not linear, it is not sequential. It's vertical. The healing is really the recognition of the healing. It's the epiphany, it's the revelation, as Peter Crone would say, of, as many people would say, Rupert Spira would say, anyway, when there's an epiphany or revelation of something that wasn't seen before, it appears as if it's coming in from somewhere else. This revelation, this revealing, is not a process at all. It's a shift in perspective of recognition of who we are, and that is instantaneous. Healing happens outside of time and space, and it is only slowed down when we introduce process, progress, steps, rituals. It is simply the permission, the allowance that we choose to give it that allows the true comprehensive healing. Healings that come from no intention, no direction, no attempts to bring about certain things, no desire to even know what is happening, just presence and being. So right this moment, receive and explore yourself as presence, as being. Observe the inherent freedom in this. Just breathe and receive. The moment of healing is instantaneous. The moment of healing is instantaneous. Some of us choose to precede it with process and procedure, reliving experiences, attempting to discard pain, telling the infinite knowingness of the universe how the healing should be, what the healing should be. What if we let go and exist in the knowingness of that which is, and we are that which is. Are you at home within yourself enough with freedom to let go of everything else? Let go. Receive. Receiving this healing is the facilitator of healing for everyone and everything. Everything else is a performance. Moving our hands this way, saying these words, creating the symbol, that direction instead of this direction, adding this in, saying, throwing in these sprinklings, shaking off, protections, fear. Everything else is a performance. You are the healing. Shall I say that more softly? You are the healing. So, shall I say that more clearly? Can't. You just are the healing. Does that mean that everyone is ready to accept this? No. Does that mean that any of us should invest in others accepting this? No. Let's be the acceptance, be the light, and when and as others are ready to choose to see that light, that will happen, and it's all in its perfect time. Healing approaches try to make us, our techniques, our steps, better versions of who we are. Great. Sounds good. It's an attempt to improve the limited version of ourselves. Better. It's still limited. Are, are we ready to allow reconnective healing to break us free? Free? That's today's word, apparently. Free enough to explore our new identity instead of just trying to improve the old one? And yet, is it really the new identity, or is it just the newly recognized identity of who and what we are in ever presence? Now, this has a very peaceful, spiritual tone. The truth is, when we've released all of that healing, well, we call it reconnective healing because it's the reconnection of the entirety of healing, is really actually simply real healing for real people. So you can go through your everyday life without having to switch from I'm eating something and now I'm healing, and now I'm going to walk to the mailbox, and when I come back, and now I'm facilitating a healing, and then I'm going to bring the trash cans out front or around back because it was trash day, and then I have to move into my healing place and space. But there is no place or space the way we think of it, because you are that, so it is always. Healing doesn't require thought. It's our instinctual knowingness. It's like spirituality that inspired religion, and then we covered it over with religiosity. Let's let go of the thought that we are doing it right, which tends to imply that others are doing it wrong. Do you have the right diet? Then others are eating wrong. Is that an excuse to make those who follow the diets wrong? Because all that's attempting to do is reinforce our own superiority. What about religion? Do we have the right religion? Does that imply other people have the wrong religion? Is that an excuse to make those who follow other religions in our minds wrong? No, that's only because of our own insecurity of wanting to be right. Do we exclude or look down upon others based on different things? Diet or religion were just examples. We realize that we are that sacred space we're looking for. We don't have to go seek it. We don't have to create a little place with all the right furniture and all the right little crystals and statuettes and everything. We realize that you could facilitate the healing on a crowded bus. You don't have to search for the optimum healing days according to, oh, I don't know, according to someone's calendar or astrology, because that would falsely imply that some healings are better than other healings because they're on better days and others are not on better days. Judgment does not allow for the full blossoming of healing. So we view some people as better healers than others, more deserving to be healers. Do we have a consciousness of inclusivity or exclusivity? Receive. Let's breathe and receive. The most, how can I say this? The most worthwhile contribution that you make is the vibration and the resonance, the truth, the being, the essence that you are. The moment we try to make a contribution one way or the other, well intended as it is, the more we try to do anything, the more we step out of the beingness. Our contribution is the beingness of who and what we are. If you're not sure how to receive, you've already started. Your receiving is the receiving of everyone and everything. Free of judgment, free of interpretation, free of intention, free of feeling that we need groups to make it something more or less. Just receive. We can't really create a group because we already are one. Before we leave today, before we close today, I want you to know that I know I've said this, and I know you've heard other people say this too, but I want to reinforce it. This, um, I'm sharing with you as friends because I have not mastered all of this. I find times in my life where I'm saying, look what I've just done. Well, I need to let go of that way of thinking. I need to remind myself of what I've shared with you, what we've been sharing. I need to remind myself. And that's a good thing. If you find that sometimes you want to say, what did we talk about today? Oh, didn't we just talk about this? And yet I'm thinking of responding this way. I'm telling someone that they're not eating the right diet, they're not following the right belief system, they're not approaching healing from the right way. What is my investment in attempting to bring about change past simply being the light that I am? Why am I invested in changing something? Is it because of how I feel when someone else is doing the same thing I am? What is my investment in sometimes getting what I know and interacting in a different way. We're assuming that I've got this spiritually superior diet or religion. How did I eat before? What did I believe before? How many times have I changed my diet or my belief system? How do I know that there might not be a reason where I decide to make other changes? I think today I will release judgment and be, receive and be. That's part of my birthday gift to me. Thank you for allowing me to share it.